Thank you to all the amazing listeners out there. On behalf of the Reef Podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future mentions and new episodes. Have a great day.
Welcome into the podcast, everybody. My name is LuisIpa, bringing y'all another edition of the Reef Podcast here with my buddy Kratos here. We have an amazing guest with us today, Kratos. It's been a few months, like since
I know, right? Like we haven't been able to do much lately, man.
I mean, we've been busy with lives. I mean, everyone gets really busy. But ladies and gents, please welcome the one and only Drago to the house. How you doing, Drago?
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be here.
So, guys, in case you guys don't know this guy is actually from the United States. We're not going to say where he's from because of privacy issues. We don't talk about that. That's never disclosed in the podcast. We never actually ask where you're from. We just say the country. That's all we do. So I'm going to let Drago get the floor and actually introduce himself. What does he do? Like as part as content creating, or like what he does as a passion as well on the side. So you have the floor, my dude. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? As far as content, I stream every now and then. Not super consistent with it, but from time to time I will stream Tekken and a few like one-off games. Lately I've been playing a lot of Path of Exile 2, but yeah. And then I guess as far as the other side of my content, I do. Been a little less consistent lately, but I do like short videos of like highlights of my gameplay from Tekken 8. So yeah, that's the content side of it. But yeah, other than that, I just compete in fighting games as much as possible, and then just try and enjoy other gaming when I can.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And from what when we did research on you, we heard that you have competed in a couple of the big tournaments, correct?
Yes. I like to travel to the bigger tournaments and just experience it all.
So what's one of the biggest tournaments out there that you're like, oh my gosh, this was like outstanding, like not just the experience, but I mean just to like see this in person? Like what is like one of the biggest tournaments you've been to?
So I guess technically the biggest tournament I've been to is Evo in Vegas. That was definitely an experience. I wouldn't say it was my greatest experience just because of the stipulations that kind of occurred. There was the whole CrowdStrike thing going on the same like day that I was flying out there. So technically because of that, I got disqualified from the tournament. Because my flight didn't make it, and it was a big ordeal. But that was the biggest one I've been to. But as far as like, I guess the best one, well, yeah, I guess the best one and most like insane one was I went to Combo Breaker last year, which was my first time attending, and within like a 15-minute time span, maybe even shorter than that. I had just gotten knocked out of the tournament. I had made it out of pools, so I was pretty excited about that. But just got knocked out. I was kind of feeling a little bummed, but Rick in the community, guy in green, he was like, yo, you want me to go like find Harada or somebody so we can get a picture? I was like, I mean, if you want to, man, that's cool. We literally like ran into Harada, got a photo with him, and then within 15 minutes of that, ran into Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat. So I was like, what just happened?
So I mean, your day went from like a little upset to like, oh my gosh, this was an amazing experience.
Dude, I was it was Mortal Kombat is my favorite fighting game of all time, my favorite franchise. Like I grew up just like Mortal Kombat. The first 1995 movie is my favorite movie of all time. Mm-hmm. So that was the first time I met Ed Boon, and he's basically like my childhood hero. So
let me ask you.
So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Let me ask you this though: was he a troll like he is on Twitter?
No, he is actually very straightforward and genuine. He's definitely no sign of trolling like he does on Twitter.
That would have been a question I would actually ask him if I actually ever get him here. But I'm letting you know ahead of time right now that if we ever do get him as a guest here, we want to invite you to actually be part of us, like, when we actually talk to him.
Oh, goodness. I would absolutely love that.
Because we had before, like, sometimes we had guests, like, like we had the voice actor for a Call of Duty character, and we literally brought an extra person to the podcast so that way they can actually talk to them in person.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we always try to involve like the community first before like ourselves. Like we try to like this is the main concept and subject of the podcast is that it's not about us, but it's about the guests that we bring in and the fact that we interview them and promote their like what they bring to the table.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, Combo Breaker was super awesome. I always attend CEO, like because I think it's probably my favorite major to attend to now. I've been going since like 2016, so every year I usually drive out there and just participate. The environment's awesome. And I guess the one other one that I can think of, which it's not around anymore sadly, but KIT, Kumite in Tennessee, I want to say it was either, I think 2017 or 2018, maybe 2017, but I was competing in MKX and I was cosplaying as Ermac. And my favorite pro player, Big D, who actually now works for NetherRealm Studios, he was going to be there competing as well. And I look at my bracket and I'm like, okay, cool. I play this person first, and I'm noticing, if I beat this first person, then I play against Big D. And then the tournament organizer's like, if you win your first match and you play against Big D, you're playing on stream. So I'm at this tournament. I beat the first guy, and then I'm on stream cosplaying as Ermac, playing against basically the number one Ermac player in the United States.
Oh man!
And it's on YouTube and everything. It's hilarious.
So how bad was it?
What?
The beating that I'm assuming it got that you got.
I actually took a match off on it.
Oh wow!
So it wasn't a complete beatdown. It was a struggle, but the overall score, he won 3-1.
Hey, but the fact that you got to compete against him it has to be an honor to just compete against him.
Oh yeah, dude, he's really cool, really great guy. Like props to him, and yeah.
That's awesome. The fact, guy. I mean, the fact that he works in Mortal Kombat now, like like you're like, oh shit. I mean, I competed against him, and now he's actually up there working for the company. So
yeah.
So here's the big question: if NetherRealm was to offer you an opportunity to be part of their team, you would take it, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what position I would fill, but I mean, I'm an IT guy, so if they need some cables running their building, I could do that for them. But hey, I'm down. NetherRealm Studios, if you're listening.
Hey, I mean, you never know. I mean, we're definitely gonna tag Ed Boon. We're gonna tag a lot of people when we upload it to YouTube and everything. So we'll tag them. We'll tag D as well. We'll tag almost everybody. Like, hey, you need to watch this podcast. And then if D actually sees this and comments on it, dude, I'm gonna try to get him involved. I'll be like, hey, you need to come get an interview as well.
He's a super cool guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook and everything. He lives down in, well, we don't disclose that. So
he lives in the United States.
He lives in the United States, but yeah.
That's awesome, though,
I think
man.
he'd be down for that.
Because I mean, if we actually were to get him involved, that means that we would be one step closer to getting Ed Boon on here. Because because when you make the right connections, you can easily get other people involved because they're like, oh yeah, I got an interview with this person. He's cool. You should do it too. And that's how.
Yeah.
All right. So first real question: what made you actually want to start the fighting scene, like the fighting game scene? Like, what made you want to actually get the drive and be like, okay, forget about the other games. I'm really focused about like the fighting game scene. What made you want to do that?
So, I was always a fighting game fan ever since I was younger, and I kind of blame that on my uncle because he's the one that sort of got me into video games.
Mm-hmm.
I would play like the Sega Genesis with him, and he had like Streets of Rage and Mortal Kombat, and we would like play all the time. And like, it's just Mortal Kombat 1 was like a really like cool game that was so different, and it had ninjas in it, so like I've always liked ninjas because ninjas are cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like my uncle got me into that, and like as I got older, I was just involved with fighting games. I picked up like Super Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo, and I played like the Tekken games when I was younger, like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 2, and all that stuff. And it wasn't until and this is probably a copy and paste story for a lot of people, but once I had seen Evo Moment 37
Mm-hmm.
with Drago and Justin Wong
Mm-hmm.
in Third Strike, I was like, wow, that, like, I wasn't involved in in a competitive mindset at the time. I wasn't a part of any fighting game communities or anything like that, but seeing that, I can tell like how heavily like the competitive aspect was during that moment and what had just occurred, even though I'd never played the game before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, wow, I want to be a part of something like that. I want to compete like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was around the time that Mortal Kombat 9 was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't come out yet, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really feeling too much the 3D Mortal Kombat games, but when Mortal Kombat 9 comes out, I'm going to give it a try. And that's kind of where I started playing fighting games competitively back in 2011.
And till this day, I mean, honestly, out of all the recent Mortal Kombat, that's actually till today one of my favorite ones, honestly.
Yeah, it's amazing. So good.
Yeah. So, what is I know this is gonna sound silly, but I mean, you said your uncle showed you like the fighting game scenes and everything. So this is actually like a little silly question, but did he ever told you like, "Hey, stay home from school, play games with me"?
No. He I mean, there would be days where like we would play a lot, but I don't think it ever got to a point where he was like, "Hey, stay home and play." So
the reason why I said that is because with me, my dad actually told me pretend to be sick so you can play Pilot Wings with me every day, and literally like he'll
Well, just call your dad out, dude.
and
oh no.
and literally like I would actually stay, and when I tell you he wanted perfection, like even when if I literally made it to half of the game and I made a 99 out of 100 on Pilot Wings, he would reset my game and tell me start over.
Oh goodness.
Now the man cheats and goes against me.
Just use Game Shark like everybody else did back then.
Another thing too, when I did play Mortal Kombat back in the day, the first one I played was 2. But I mean, I remember seeing 1, but I mean, I couldn't get it. So 2, I did ask like I had to ask like my older cousins like hey, can you get this game for me? I mean, I can't get it because I'm a kid and everything. Yeah, sure, let's get it. But
yeah.
Every time I would play it, I kid you not, because I was a kid, I would have nightmares of Mortal Kombat just because of the spine. Yeah, the spine rip, everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
You're the second person I think in the week to say that. Like they had nightmares about Mortal Kombat. I feel like at this point I'm the only one that never did.
I'm trying to figure it out because like I grew up watching Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And so, of course, playing Mortal Kombat kind of went hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
And I laughed at the Nightmare Before Elm Street movie, so I'm trying to figure out how people had nightmares over a video game.
Well, I mean, when you think that you actually are that... this is how I visualize video games. I don't know if you guys do, but when I actually play video games, I dive myself to be that character. So that's how it is for me. Like, I'm like, okay... I'm Sub-Zero. I'm basically climbing the tournament to go and fight Shao Kahn at the end. And I was only a kid back then, so I didn't think that, like, I was actually terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, that spine just got ripped off. Oh my gosh, like, that's scary.
Baraka was pretty ugly back then. So,
And then Melina, don't forget about Melina.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Nightmare, you had a question?
Yes. You mentioned your favorite movie of all time being the original 1995 Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
What was your first thoughts before any of the trailers when they announced the remake that just came out not too long ago?
So I was excited because I've been wanting them to have like a remake. Well, not even a remake. Like, well, you know what? Yeah, actually a remake. And I was super excited. I was like, oh man, finally they're gonna do it justice. Like they're gonna like have all kind of really awesome fight scenes and there's gonna be like, you know, really good effects going on. They're gonna have a cool cast of characters, good actors. You know, this is gonna be great. So I was stoked.
And were you satisfied with the results?
I was not.
Really?
I wasn't extremely disappointed, but I was very disappointed. I guarantee, like, still to this day, the trailer for that movie could sell me on watching it again. It was so good. Like, everything that happened in that trailer, like, the point in which Sub-Zero cuts Scorpion and freezes his blood and then stabs him with it was the coolest thing I had seen in a long time. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest movie ever. They're going to be rid of the awful Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie. They won't have to think about it ever again. And this is going to be awesome. And then they were like, oh yeah, here's Cole Young. And I was like, what? What is...
Who?
Yes. Thank you. And, man, I could go on and on about why this movie was bad, but like, they didn't need Cole Young. They didn't need to explain their powers. And the fact that our main character, Cole Young, literally lost every single fight that he was in throughout the whole movie, but then beats Goro in a horror movie setting with plot armor, a 9-time reigning Mortal Kombat champion. Makes absolutely no sense to me.
And not just like figurative, literal plot armor.
Yes, literal plot armor. And then like literally after beating Goro, proceeds to go and fight Melina and start losing to her. And Sonya, who has no powers at this point, spoiler alert to anybody, but she kills Kano. And like half this movie was people trying to figure out how to use their powers. She's just like, oh yeah, I know how to use my powers. Comes in and kills Melina. And it's like
what? Like there was
where does this make sense?
like there was no build up for it. That's the thing.
No,
there was no.
And so we don't press on to this one subject because I could go on and on. The only other thing that really like bugged me about the movie was the fact that this is a fighting game adaptation into a live action movie. Fighting game, keywords. At one point, there was like 5 fights all happening at the same time. There was no focus on the fights. Like, why are you basically making a montage and jumping between fights when people just want to have a focus on each fight? Because that's what it's supposed to be.
And now and now they're making a sequel to it too.
Yeah. The sequel better do some justice
and
bring Scorpion in, not just 5 minutes at the beginning and 5 minutes at the end. That's all Scorpion got.
Yeah, no.
That made me upset.
That worries me about like if they're actually gonna do a live action Tekken movie. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, who
they already did. It was terrible.
No, but I'm saying like a remake of it.
Like, they could do a remake.
Look, the only thing that I have seen live action from a video game adaptation from any kind of like fighting style, Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal actually looks good.
Oh, the series?
I saw it, but I never actually watched it.
The series is pretty good. I do give props to my co-host here because the series was actually really, really good. They have it on Peacock, and it's really
Season 2's coming out this summer.
And
I saw the trailer for that.
I'm excited. It looks really promising. But back to Mortal Kombat. I mean, yeah, the movie. I think the movie was okay, but the thing that really excited me about the new things that Mortal Kombat is coming out is that those animated movies about each character, like the Scorpion's Revenge.
Oh yeah,
those are, dude.
Those were pretty cool. Yeah.
I haven't watched
But
Johnny.
see, you can do more with the animated.
I haven't watched the Johnny Cage one, but so many people told me, dude, you need to watch it. Like
it's okay.
I know the Kenshi one was really good. The Kenshi one was
Yeah,
really
the Kenshi one was pretty good. Yeah, I like that one, and the Scorpion's Revenge one was good too.
Yeah. So as long as they keep like the animation and everything, I'm like, dude, this beats what's it called, Defenders of the Realm.
Oh, that one was tough to deal with.
Yeah, and when you mentioned Annihilation, I almost wanted to stop you and be like, we don't talk about that movie. That movie does not
We won't talk
exist.
about it.
You
I made my
went from
kids-
100 to 0.
I made my kids watch that, and my youngest is yet to fully watch it, but the original Super Mario Brothers movie, the live action. If you want to see the worst movies in the world, go with those two.
I still have yet to watch, which I probably should just for the memes and just because it's basically iconic at this moment. But I have not watched the Street Fighter movie, the
Ooh.
live action one.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one with basically M. Bison carrying the whole movie because he was the good actor.
So is Jean-Claude Van Damme in it? That one?
Yes, that
Yeah,
one.
okay. that one. I have good memories because I was younger. If I watched it now, it probably would ruin it.
That's how I felt about the Tekken movie because when I was younger, I watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." I tried watching it recently and I was like, "This is terrible."
Hey,
What was I thinking?
I wasted movie tickets to go watch Annihilation, and I was like, wow.
Oh,
I wasted my money to go watch this piece of garbage. Like, really?
They could have went to the arcades to play the game.
Even, I mean, come on, Shao Kahn being a giant freaking Hydra thing. I was like, dude, this is not Hercules. What in the world is this?
We don't talk about
it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So we already talked about your idol, Ed Boon, and we talked about what got you into the fighting genre. Do you have any upcoming projects that you're actually working on or anything coming up?
Projects. I don't think I have anything at the moment. I know there's a few ideas up in the air for cosplays, but I don't have anything solidified just yet. But as far as events, I'm planning to go to Louisiana Comic-Con. I'm still planning on going to Sci-Fi-Con. But I guess the big one is I'm attending CEO, which is in Orlando this year. So
That should be fun.
yeah, I'm excited. The new venue, new location.
When is CEO this year? I haven't kept up on it.
June 12th to June 6th. No.
The month before I go down to Florida. Figures.
Usually they have it at the very end of June. Usually it's like, sometimes it goes into July, but usually at the end of June.
All right, so here's a silly question. What is not like nothing bad that happened, but what is like the most embarrassing moment that has happened to you at a live fighting tournament? Like it doesn't have to be bad. It could be a funny, like good embarrassment. Like, oh my gosh, like this happened to me.
Embarrassing or well, I guess one of the most humiliating things was, I think, not last year but the year before at CEO I went 0-2,
Sure.
which that was the first time it's ever happened, so that was a little embarrassing to drive like 11 hours and then go 0-2.
Just literally just flat out.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Because I mean, for me, like when I was actually competing for a little bit, what happened was right before the fight started, they told me like, "Oh, the control is fine, everything's working fine." I was like, "Okay, cool, we're ready to do it." Right when I was about to like start the fight, literally the controller dies on me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's awful.
Yeah, they told him like, you know what?
I've only ever had that happen once.
Mm-hmm. That I can't stand when that happens. Like I'm like, Jesus Christ. And they even told me like, you know, well, do you have an extra controller? I was like, no. I basically thought you guys supplied controllers. Like, oh well, that's the only one we have. We had to DQ you because of that. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
Like wow. That's yeah. Back then they were.
That's unprofessional at that point.
But I was like, but
Somebody had taken a picture of me cosplaying as Dragonov, watching JDCR, who is a Dragonov main, play in tournament. And I'm like just kind of crouched with my hand on my chin like this, like, yeah, he's doing the right moves. Like, and then somebody posted it on Twitter, and they're like, Dragonov making sure JDCR is doing the right moves. That's pretty great.
with it, I did see your Dragonov cosplay, and it was on point. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised like if somebody actually posted like that. Because I mean, the last times I've seen it, like for example, for you, for like the people that you go with and everything, you guys always like, you know, rocking cosplays. I mean,
thank you.
it's unbelievable. So I'm actually looking forward to see what you bring to the table this April.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. But if besides Ed Boon, do you have any on Harada, of course, because I mean you met him.
Yeah.
But I mean, so besides those two, is there anyone else out there that you're like, oh my gosh, I would love to meet in person? Like, you know, even if it's like a fighting game player or something like that.
I'm not sure because I got to meet Speed Kicks, which he was like, as far as Tekken's concerned, he was like my number one like pro player that I kind of looked up to and wanted to meet, and I got to meet him at CEO a while back, and we were at the club, so I bought him a drink, and we were just like talking for a bit and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And then I met him this past year again and got a picture with him while I was cosplaying Dragonov. But
what about Sonic Fox?
Sonic Fox is cool, but he's an amazing player, and like almost every fighting game he touches, like he's just like, you know what, I'm good in this game. I haven't played it yet, but I'm good in it. So
you ever ran into him in a lobby online?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I did actually play against Arslan Ash.
Oh my god.
And that was not fun. I played against him at KIT in a team's competition. And the one launcher I got on him, I ended up dropping like right away. So it wasn't fun for anybody. So I guess that could qualify as the most embarrassing. I hit him with a just frame skyrocket. He flies into the air, and then I just proceed to do nothing right after that. So.
Oh wow! So almost like you basically choked. That's what they call it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know if that would just be choking or just dropping the ball entirely.
But yeah, no, I met Harada, I met Ed Boon, I met Big D and Speed Kicks, and that was kind of like, I got to meet Ketchup and Mustard.
Oh heck yeah, dude, those are awesome.
Yeah, they're super cool guys. I don't know, maybe Daniel Pacina, like the Johnny Cage model. He's really cool. I think I have him as a friend on Facebook. But I've never met him.
Now, when you met Harada and Ed Boon, please tell me you got at least something signed from them.
I did not. I didn't have anything for them to sign.
He probably didn't even expect it.
I should have. I should have just got him to sign my gi while I was cosplaying as Harada.
That would be that. You'd probably be like, I'm gonna put this on a frame. Like I'm not gonna touch this.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I know I said that like Combo Breaker was like my big, like, my favorite. Actually, thinking about it now, my favorite event so far, hands down, was the Tekken World Tour for last year.
I remember you actually posting about it.
Yeah, they had it in New Orleans, like of all places. Like it was in Thailand before that. I think Amsterdam before that.
I just happened to land New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
2 hours
I can
away.
make that. I can make that. So, like, yeah, I'm dressing up as Harong. I'm meeting Harada. I'm competing in tournaments. Bandai Namco asked me to compete in the Tekken Ball tournament for Tekken 8 before it releases.
Mhm.
So, like, I got to go on stage and play against like all the people there. I met Tasty Steve. Well, I had met him before, but like one of the most chill guys ever. Like he's so cool, so chill. One of my favorite commentators, and yeah, he was super cool. But yeah, no, that event hands down my favorite one.
Now I do have a question from my friend Scott. That basically, like, he told me like, hey, if you can ask this to him, that'll be great. How do you feel when you fight King players in Tekken?
So,
because he's a King main. That's why he asked.
So okay, since I had started practicing throw breaks, it's not as bad. And anytime somebody tries to do rolling death cradle, I know what to press, so I don't ever have to end up in a situation like that. But fighting against King, not so bad. I would have to say if there's a character I truly can't stand playing against, or just can't stand the character in general, it's Asuka Kazama. Like, she can be thrown out the game, and I would be just happy.
Yeah,
you'd cheer.
Yeah,
I would cheer. Yes, actually, I might even make a video on being happy about it.
Now, here's a funny thing. I know the fighting community been wanting Harada to do a Waffle House stage. You think that? I don't know if you heard of that, but I mean,
I did, yes.
So
and I don't know if this is true or if maybe I just read it somewhere, but I think Harada said he would be down to do it, but he would need to reach out to the Waffle House company to see if they would be willing to do it. And he was actually asking about the history and why they would need to like put that as a setting, as a stage in the game, because he didn't know the history behind it.
Dude, if Tekken ever allows it that you can throw stuff from like the stage, kind of like MK4. I mean, come on, who wants to throw a freaking pen across the stage and literally grab something like that and just literally throw it to the enemy? I mean, I miss those days, dude. That's one thing I like about MK4.
I mean, I think they added a chair to Tekken 8 in the customization, so I think you can actually use that as a weapon. So,
but you know what I'm talking about, like stage props that you can use. That would actually be pretty cool. All right, what you got, Nightmare?
Okay, so I know we've taken a lot of time talking about Tekken and Mortal Kombat. Is there any other non-fighting games that you enjoy playing?
Yeah, I actually enjoy a lot of first-person shooters. So for a long time, I played a lot of Apex Legends. I played a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I did play a ton of like the DayZ mods, Rust. I played through the campaign for Doom. Doom 2016 was amazing. Doom 2 was amazing. But I used to play a lot of Time Splitters. I'm actually not super big on Counter-Strike, oddly enough. I'm terrible at the game. But yeah. I played through the campaign in Titanfall. Fantastic campaign. Wonderful game. But yeah. Oh, and oddly enough, because apparently I hate myself, I play a lot of Escape from Tarkov.
Oh my gosh! Hey, that game is evil because you die in that game, you lose everything you basically have.
Yep. It doesn't matter how geared you are, too. You could be geared to the teeth, and you get right into a raid, and then you just get one tapped, and it's like, all right, I'll go back to the lobby.
Now, following the first-person shooter genre, did you ever broke a keyboard or a controller in your life? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be FPS. It can be fighting games too.
Okay, fighting games, yes, 100%.
Name one person that hasn't.
So I play on pad. I would not do this to a stick if I had one, or I did make my own hitbox, so I have that on display at work on my office desk. But Yeah, no, I was playing ranked in Tekken,
Mm-hmm.
and my controller just repeatedly in certain situations, like I would input something and it just wouldn't come out, and there like this happened on like I think 2 of my promotion matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I proceeded to just take my controller, I walked outside, and I slammed it into the driveway. And I was like, all right, I'm going to buy a new controller.
If
I need a
that
break.
if that ever happens, you need to let me know because I'll help you get a good deal on one.
All right. I dare not do it with my new controller because it's custom made, so that way my top trigger buttons and bumpers they all click, so there's no like pullback on them, so I get like instant responses. So it costs a little bit of money, so I dare not.
So basically,
jeopardize.
so basically, you're saying that if you're playing like this and something makes you rage, you go like you want to throw it, and they're like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, no, can't.
No, put the controller down. Time to stop.
This thing cannot be
Damn.
harmed in any way.
Got the custom Drago, man.
Yeah.
Dude, eventually, like, something you could do also is, like, release, like, Drago merch or something. Like, once you actually get up there, like, on the fighting,
That would be
man.
wild.
That, dude, just imagine you, like, having a custom control like that signed by you and basically, like, people actually auction for it. Like, oh my gosh, I want it for this much. Because he actually played with it.
I actually designed the team jerseys that we have for the dojo, so that's looks kind of professional now.
Gotcha. So I know, like, we don't talk about personal location, but what is exactly the dojo?
Oh, okay. So yeah, the dojo or Dojo 337 is just our dojo that I've essentially been. Really, what it boils down to is just like me going to a friend's house and playing Tekken over there, and kind of just like going over instances that happen in the game, matchups. We get matches in with each other, and it's just like a centralized location where we all go throughout the week. I don't go nearly as much anymore, but there was a time, especially during Tekken 7, where we would go out to the dojo like sometimes 3 or 4 times a week and just practice and play against each other.
Now,
yeah.
Now, do you guys actually, like, take students, like people that actually want to learn the fighting scene and actually learn to be good and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the area and you have a means to get to the dojo, there's no limitations. Like, we accept anybody that wants to play. The only thing is you have to be active. You have to
be consistent,
be involved. Yes, exactly. You have to be involved. That way, not necessarily that you're wasting our time, but like to be, I guess, considered a dojo member, you just have to be involved.
I mean, it's just like almost like streaming. I mean, you have to be consistent with it, so that way you can actually be well prepared. So that when you go and represent dojo, you're not like just flopping and be like, oh well, there goes my fight that I had.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we're actually gonna get to the silly out of the blue questions that we have here on the podcast because we have a few minutes left. So go ahead and Nightmare, start with your silly question, and then I'll follow up with mine, and we'll go back and forward here.
Okay. Do you go camping at all?
I used to when I was younger. Me and my family would go to like campgrounds and stuff, and we would go camping in that aspect.
Okay. Do you prefer tent camping, or do you do more like the glamping with the RVs, the cabins? Which do you prefer?
So I can't stand camping anymore, at least in the sense of in a camper. I would absolutely love to go like hiking and camping in a tent though.
So that's something that you go to. Interesting. All right. So would you rather be invisible or breathe underwater?
Probably breathe underwater.
Hey.
Because I don't want to take the chance of like being invisible all the time, because that's no fun.
But the trolls.
Yeah.
I'm not like super big on trolling, so there's no appeal there for me.
The good thing about being able to breathe underwater is that if we ever have like tsunamis and stuff, you'll be able to survive them.
True, but there are
breathing underwater. You're not dealing with the current.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that, like I said, I mean, you'll be safe. Like if something happens, just go underwater, and then like, okay, nothing to see here. I'm just going underwater. You'll actually be safe. All right, what you got, Nightmare?
Okay, I'm on jump to one of my bigger ones. What's the scarier thought? Tigers with the ability to just swim forever underwater, or flying sharks?
Oh my god.
That's tough. That's I feel like I could just punch a shark in the nose. But then again, like tigers, like them being underwater and me not knowing, that seems pretty terrifying.
So you got to go.
At least I can see the shark coming. There's no indication with a tiger.
I mean, you'd see the tiger too. And just
well, the tiger doesn't have a fin, and he's like, "Oh, hey, guess what? I'm coming after you." No, you just
look. You'd see it. The question is how quickly you'd see it.
All right. Waffles or bagels?
Oh, waffles. Easy.
Waffles. All right. What you got, Nightmare?
Now hold on. The better one: waffles or pancakes?
Oh, we went up on me.
That is kind of tough. I do like pancakes, but waffles have syrup traps, so I don't. Maybe you know what? Probably pancakes. I'm gonna go with pancakes.
All right. Here's a tough one: Sub-Zero or Scorpion?
That is not a tough one. Sub-Zero all day, every day.
Damn.
But even more so, Ermac over both of them.
Oh,
Original Sub-Zero or his brother?
Oh, wow.
Original Sub-Zero, because I like that he's a total badass and pretty much evil. So.
And he's evil all the time. He's never good. Even on the new timeline, he's still evil. All right, here's a funny one. Train under Borracho or train under Madame Bo?
Madame Bo. I can't stand Borracho, so I would choose Madame Bo.
You know she's coming, right? The freaking...
Oh yeah, I seen the. I didn't see the trailer yet. I need to check it out, but I saw the post.
Mm-hmm. I was like, good God, they're bringing her here. Jesus. All right, what you got, Nightmare?
Chicken wings or pizza?
Ooh,
Chicken wings.
yes, cool.
All right, but see, you got to worry about the controller at that point.
Oh yeah. Right.
All right. Pineapples on pizza, yes or no? Hey, let's go.
No.
All about the toppings. Pineapples and olive or pineapples and bacon. Whatever makes it super salty, that pineapple's going to help.
Pineapples do not deserve to be on pizzas because pineapples are fruits, not...
It's all right, Louis. I'll just buy you a pizza with a bunch of pineapple on it.
I'll make sure to shove it in your face. How about that? Like, eat it. You want to eat it? Here. Eat it. All right. What you got?
All right. I'm running out of them here. The ability to fly or the ability to teleport?
Ooh, that's a good one. I personally like teleport. It's like, okay, Drago, see you in 5 minutes. Shoot.
That does sound really convenient. But what if I need to bring stuff somewhere? Does it go with me?
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's the question.
Because you got to think about it, too. When you want to compete for combo breaker and everything, okay, I'm teleporting there. Shoot. And then come back home. You don't even have to pack. You just basically go, compete, go back home.
So, yeah, I think I'll go with teleporting because I'm afraid of heights. So, flying might not be my forte.
That's why you actually drive to the things. I see it now.
Especially now. I don't.
Oh, dude,
I don't too many.
After that crowd strike, I'm a little nervous about flying in July. But I'm still doing it because it's still quicker than driving.
Oh yeah, I drove to Combo Breaker, and I tell you, I'd never want to do it again. 17-hour drive straight. No thanks.
So you're definitely flying next time.
Yeah, hopefully in the next year or so, whenever they decide that they want to keep the planes in the air.
Yeah, dude. And the fact that they said, "Oh, we're actually short staff on the communication tower," I'm like, dude, how are you short staffed? Like, what in the world?
Not what you want to be short staffed.
It's federal. It's the federal hiring freeze was short staffed them.
All right. So here's a interesting question. You're actually on the woods. You don't have no weapons, nothing. Like, you're actually just by yourself. Like, they drop you off. All your buddies are like, okay, bye. We'll leave you here, and you're stuck, and you have no way. You have no phone, no food, nothing, and you have to find your way home. You're on the way. Okay. You're on the path home. You have two choices: left path or right path. If you go to the left path, you're gonna face a bear-sized goose. Okay, before you actually get home. If you face the right path, you face 100 goose-sized bears. Which one do you choose?
That's tough because geese in general are pretty fearsome.
You're not wrong.
Like, even in their small stature. So to have to deal with a large one is pretty scary.
But you can choke it, though.
And geese can get pretty big on their own. So, like, having to fight 100 geese-sized bears, that doesn't sound fun either.
That's 200 claws after you, basically.
That's a lot of claws.
I think you miscount. I think it's 4 or 500. 500 claws.
Jeez.
Man, and I don't think I could outrun any of them. Because the goose can just fly.
Now, unless you have Sub-Zero's gauntlets, you can freeze it.
Oh, man.
Easily freeze it.
I would... You know what? I think I would actually take my chances with the goose. If I could just grab him by the neck, then I could probably break it. You know, or maybe get his head stuck between like a tree branch or something. I don't know. Something. I think I would have better luck with the goose.
And then the best part about it too is that once you actually grab it by the neck and you kill it, you can make it like your lunch for your week.
That's right.
Wheat here,
just like chicken.
Oh,
decade.
Make my wings.
Oh god. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. All right, what you got, Nightmare?
All right, this is my last one I've got, and this is something I haven't asked yet, but it's something that I need to know. Live action Disney or animated Disney movies?
Oh my lord. That's a good one.
But we gotta ask the question here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't like either one.
he doesn't like either one.
Well, I mean, you can go any Disney property. Any Disney property. Whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, generic Disney.
Oh, man. Okay.
Live action or animated? Which one do you find better?
Maybe... Man, I don't think I was very privy to the animated, like, any of the animated Disney movies, even though I've pretty much seen all of them. I hated all the singing. But probably live action I'd go with. Because
it's hard to figure it out because the live action just looks so wrong when you grow up with animated. but then the animated, like you said, has all the singing, so it's like, what's worse?
You're right.
All right, so here comes the final question that Nightmare was talking about. All right, so you eat cereal, right, in the morning?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Do you pour the cereal first and then the milk, or the milk first and then the cereal?
Come on, I'm not an animal. I pour the cereal first.
Well, I guess I'm an animal then.
Oh man, I can't believe you.
If you would have been with a person that we had here. His name is Cynical. We interviewed him, and he literally threw a tantrum because I said that. He's like, "You're not one of those psychopaths, are you?" I was like,
Do you push your cereal down after? What is wrong with you?
It's like clip. Go in and watch the clip.
I'm telling you, like,
my cereal is sitting on top of the milk. I need to push it in.
but yeah, they made a clip of that, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is too funny. This is too great.
Hold on, I got the answer to this one. These exist, Louis. But we're both wrong in this.
Mm-hmm.
Add cold water.
What? I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
We've both been doing this wrong. You add water and it just turns into milk.
All right, and
Goodness.
to close it up, the podcast, what is one big advice you give to the fighting community, like for people that just started like doing the fighting genre in general?
Don't give up. There's multiple sources. You've got like Book is a good example of like, even if you don't have a community, like you can still strive to be like amazing in the game that you're playing if you just dedicate yourself and you put the time into it. I mean, we have so many resources now with like Discord, YouTube, Twitter. There's so much tech that you can just learn like on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, if you're just not sure too, like look into it and see if you have a community. Because like for the longest time, I didn't even know there was a Tekken community where I'm located, and lo and behold, there was like a great community for Tekken here. So, just when it comes to fighting games, don't give up. Like you can get better.
That's awesome. All right, and I want to thank everybody that actually has been watching in the background, because we did have a couple of people. Like we had Lena. She came in and she actually said like, hey, woohoo, Drago's here. She was all cheering. Yeah, she was cheering for you. And we had a couple of people from the Goblins community to come by. And I want to thank you again for taking the time, because it's always, precious time here, like, when we talk to people. And we greatly appreciate you. Like, I know it's a little late for both of y'all and me and myself, but it's been a blast. I really enjoyed myself here. And we hope to hear back from you soon. I mean, like, we might do, like, part 2, like, whenever we actually bring either Ed Boon or we bring your buddy, because I definitely would like to get in touch with him, because, I mean, either one of those, if they do come on board, I'll definitely be letting you know. Like, you'll be the first person to know, like, hey, he's coming in this date. Are you available this date to come on board and actually have a talk with him? And then what we'll do is we'll basically have like a conversation that we had with you, and then we'll be like, oh, and we have a guest that wants to say hi to you real quick, and then boom, you showed up, and then like he'll be like,
that would be great.
Yeah, because we always like making everybody's day here. But thank you again for your time, and we hope you have a fantastic week. I know it's a busy week, and we look forward to seeing you on those conventions. As always, today's episode of the Reef Podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeart Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.